So, remember, you can hear me right now. I'm on screen. Yes.
Like, if I talk, you will be able to hear.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be dead silent.
That's why I was going to do crosswords, yeah. Okay, so,
Thank you.
just man the camera.
I saw your post about education. Yeah, we're basically just asking
And we'll be
like for education, specifically to the deans, leaving it up to us.
Yeah. She's like, you just handle it. I'm like,
Thanks.
okay.
We made
Cool.
kind of like a little bit like
Best of
a
luck.
question
Call me if you
for
need
it.
me.
Yeah.
And so
Thanks for doing this.
Thanks
It's
for
fun.
setting it up.
Or, yep. We'll be probably tomorrow if we can, or Wednesday closing it.
Is this stuff in your way?
What was that?
Yeah.
Is this stuff in your way?
No, this is for him. This should be
Do
his
we
board
have Balfour and traditional election?
for plugging it into the floorboard.
Like,
Yeah. Do you know it? Are they? I know they.
Did you need this?
Next week.
For microphone?
Yeah.
That would be great, yes.
Yeah. There you go. I'm gonna go grab some gaff tape. That floor panel right there, I'll help you with that.
Okay.
Give me just 1 second. That's my
Sounds
first
good.
time doing it alone. So.
Yeah, me too. My first time as well.
Oh, good. Good thing we planned that.
Yeah.
so what's that? Oh,
Microphone, yes.
I'm not using it. I'm nervous.
Yes.
forum at this time.
Johnston at large. Happy Monday, y'all. I just want to announce I got appointed Senate chaplain. So over this term, I'll be giving a short little spiel during open forum, and it'll kind of just be something to get your week started right. This week's about rest. It's really important to find rest in business, college life. And there's a quote that I found. It says that wisdom is knowing when to have rest, when to have activity, and how much of each to have. And I definitely haven't figured this out yet as a freshman, but I do know that it's necessary. And so yeah, I encourage y'all to find a time, just carve out some time during your day or during your week to rest. And it can just be like doing something relaxing, something you enjoy, and it'll make a difference. Thank you all.
Thank you, Warren. Would anyone else like to utilize open forum at this time? Seeing no one, we will now move into the approval of the minutes. The minutes were sent out electronically both last week and this morning. Were there any corrections needed to be made to the minutes? Seeing none, the minute, did you? Oh, sorry, I saw your hand raised. Seeing none, these minutes are now recorded as approved and corrected. We will now move into our reports from our officers, beginning with our president, Jake Haston.
Hey y'all, hope y'all had a great weekend. First, I just wanted to address the demonstration on the concourse today. Fluker will touch more on this with his report, but I just wanted to make sure y'all were aware that our exec team is aware of it and have had conversations with administration on the topic and possible ways that we can look to improve similar situations in the future. Also, our team is getting close to having exec goals finished and look forward to releasing those soon with y'all so that y'all are aware of which specific areas we're planning on working on specifically this year. Also, General Burgess will be overseeing a transition committee to help the university have a seamless transition from Dr. Gooch to President-elect Roberts. And that will have student representation on that, so just so y'all know, like, students will be a part of that transition committee as well. And kind of the best piece of news, Med Clinic had 166 COVID tests this week, and only 2 of them were positive. So, super exciting. That's all I've got. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jake. Now moving into our report from our treasurer, Jake Darling.
Hi everyone. My last week has been very much just focused on the iGrad rollout. I talked about it last week, I'll talk about it this week, and I'll talk about it next week as well. April 5th, on the concourse, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. Be there, please, I'm begging you. It's going to be a great event. Please show out and show up. Secondly, also a meeting with Brad and Jamie with Nick Stewart as well this week. That went very well. It was a great meeting. That's all for me.
Thank you, Jake. And now moving to our report from our Executive Vice President of Cabinet Administration, Rhett Block.
Hey y'all, the past week I've been working really hard on setting up interviews for cabinet. So right now they're going on from Monday until Thursday. We had about 26 earlier today. They're going very well, so we're aiming to have our full cabinet by Monday. So we're really excited for that. We can really hit the ground running with cabinet. And that's really all I have today. And I'll keep y'all updated on all the positions that we fill. There you go.
Thank you, Rhett. Now moving into our report from our Executive Vice President of Communications and Marketing.
Hey y'all, not much for me. The only thing is that if you know people who are trying to communicate with SGA through Instagram, be it tagging us or DMing us, please direct them to either y'all specifically or to Auburn Answers, because it's hard to verify that feedback that we get through the Instagram. While it's great to have dialogue with students, it inhibits our ability to advocate for them because we can't verify it and the administration doesn't tend to take that feedback as seriously as they do something that we can link to an Auburn email or to an Auburn student. If they don't feel comfortable sharing their name with their feedback, that's perfectly fine. There's an anonymous option on Auburn Answers as well. So if you need help accessing Auburn Answers, feel free to reach out to Fluker. He and his team have it all under control and are awesome. But other than that, keep submitting marketing requests if you need anything, and just if you see that SGA Instagram post something, or if we send something in the group me, just make sure you're resharing that. That's all.
Thank you, Abby. We'll now be moving to our report from our Executive Vice President of Outreach.
Hey, so about the concourse, if you guys get any feedback, like Abby said, like everyone else on the executive said, make sure to get them to y'all or to Auburn Answers so we can kind of get all that feedback in one good location. Because I know I've gotten a lot of texts from people today, and I've been told them to go to Auburn Answers because when we're going to administrators and we're talking to our advisors and things, we need to make sure that they come from the Auburn email address and that they're all kind of compiled in one place. Outside of that, we had city breakfast this past week with the mayor. Jake and I went with the external affairs team and kind of talked about what our partnership with the city will look like this year and what we can do to kind of improve that. Also, you all should have, and if you haven't, you will soon get an email about the Spring 2022 Campus Climate Survey. So please take that. That'll kind of be a way for the Office of Inclusion and Diversity to kind of get a good gauge of how students' experiences are this semester on campus. Even outside of the concourse, make sure you're telling people to submit Auburn Answer submissions so that you can get good feedback from people, and also you can start submitting benchmarking requests on the AU Involved page for SGA. So if you need any kind of research, any kind of surveys, Auburn Answers polls, or any kind of benchmarking in general, submit a form there. That's it for me.
Thank you, Jordan. And finally, moving into our report by our Executive Vice President of Initiatives.
Thanks, Alex. Two things for me. First one is Coleman and I are on this Tiger Flex steering committee, and that's to see what administrators and what faculty members can work remotely, how often they can work remotely, whether it's 1 to 2 days, 3 to 4, or all 5 days of the week. The main part on that has to deal mainly with students, and the main feedback that we're bringing is whether students want advising meetings in person or online, or whether we want the option to choose. So if you have any feedback on that, reach out to me or Coleman. We'd love to hear that so we can bring that to them. And secondly, I have a parking meeting this week. So if you have any questions, feedback on parking, reach out to me so I can bring that to administrators and I can update y'all further next week. Thank y'all.
Thank you, John David. Now moving into our reports from colleges, beginning with at-large.
All at large, no board.
Next, we have our report from the College of Agriculture.
Davidson, College of Agriculture. Not much for me. We're closing cabinet applications at the end of this month, and then we'll have interviews on the 11th through the 14th. So that'll be wrapping up here pretty soon. Thank you for everybody who came out last week for Ag Week. I think it went really well. So we're excited to keep doing that in the coming years, and I think it'll just get even better. So thank you.
Thank you. Now moving into our report from the College of Business.
Lozano Business. So I went to a meeting last week with Jeff Long, who's the Assistant Dean and also the President and Vice President of Student Council. And we talked about there being outlets in the Louder building, but because of the concrete, we're going to look into getting charging stations instead of outlets. We're also going to try to find a way to promote the lost and found that's in OPCD. Also getting vending machines. We found some really great spots to put those. And then at the bottom of the business building, there's like a little empty room. And they said to try to brainstorm ideas of what we could do with that. Jeremiah had the idea of doing like a break room type thing or vending machines. That would be a good place for them. So if anybody has any ideas for that. And then we also got feedback that grad students can't reserve dibs rooms in GBB and that it is the grad building. And also I know that dibs has been down for the past couple weeks. So I don't know if there's anything that student affairs can do about that. And then also on April 11th, the College of Business Senators are having our meet and greet at GBB outside with chicken biscuits, so if y'all want to come by.
Thank you. Now moving into our report from the College of Architecture, Design, and Construction.
Lorraine, CADC.
first student council meeting last Thursday, and we didn't really talk about much, but they mentioned how they wanted to do apparel, and so Nick, I think I have to talk to you about that financially. And then they also mentioned how they wanted to do food and drinks for finals week. So if y'all want to stop by, y'all can do that. And also they want to get more involved with the ambassadors for Connect CDC. And they want to hold more events. So if y'all have any ideas that y'all school do that are good, like let me or Gunnar know. And that's it.
Thank you. Now moving into our report from COSAM.
Hearing COSAM. Okay, so two things for me. First off, we had some student feedback about our interim dean information not being available on the website. So we're working on getting that updated. And then secondly, we have some exciting news. COSAM and the College of Education are going to be partnering up soon to help alleviate shortages within the secondary mathematics teacher field. So that's exciting, but that's all from me.
Thank you. Now moving into our report from the College of Education.
Wheeler Education, their report.
Thank you. Now moving into our report from the College of Engineering.
Well, for engineering, just a couple things to go over. We're looking at trying to get some new hours for Brown Copel Engineering Center. Thus, we discussed that in our office hours and talked to some people, and some personal strife with that as I got kicked out while taking a test the other day. And then the other thing we're looking to is having swipe access for study rooms, kind of the way the library does it. So we'll just be working on that next couple weeks.
Thank you. And now our report from the College of Forestry and Wildlife Sciences.
Martinez Wildlife, no report.
And now moving into our report from the Graduate School.
Hello, Olamide Graduate School. This week we're able to meet with Dave Flower, the dean of Graduate School, and one of the key points which we're able to discuss with him was that for next year there will be orientation, like physical orientation, instead of the virtual orientation, because in order to sensitize the graduate students on what they are meant to know on campus. On Monday, during the morning session, will be for the general graduate students, while by afternoon it will be for each department. So for all departments, from the graduate school, the representative will be discussing with graduate students. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. And now moving into our report from the College of Human Sciences. Now moving into our report from the College of Liberal Arts.
Smith Liberal Arts, a couple of things. Casey drafted an email and sent it out through like some email system so all the CLA students can meet all of us and we can begin making a relationship with everyone. And we also met with schools council, and they basically told us what their plans are for this year and what our plans are and how we can work together. So that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you. And now moving into our report from the College of Nursing.
Ruben Nursing. My office hours started last week, and I've also been working with the president and vice president of nursing a little bit more on like gauging feedback and ways that we can have better outreach to students. We also, I got information from the president on a faculty meeting, just talking about different issues more related specifically to nursing. So we're just looking into all of those and just thinking of ways that apply to the whole school, but then also just specifically nursing things. So, thank you.
Thank you. And now moving into our report from the College of Pharmacy. And then at this time we would typically have a vet med report. However, we do not yet have a vet med senator. So that concludes our reports from our colleges, and now moving into our reports from our committees, beginning with academic affairs.
Baranco Liberal Arts. So we've been making progress towards our recent projects, which includes the student tutoring services, improvement with those, and then we're trying to improve grade accuracy in Canvas and making sure that extra credit and other things are being input and that we're seeing our actual accurate grade instead of just something that could be above or below what we actually have. And then the Graduate Student Conference Fund, which he touched on. So if you have any information or suggestions about any of these projects, please reach out to us. Senators Dodd, Cochran, Harris, Smith, or myself. Thanks.
Thank you, and now moving into our report from the Budget and Finance Committee.
Seward business. Okay, so one thing I've noticed is that not a lot of people really know what budget and finance does or how it works. So for my report, I'm going to do a quick crash course on what the process is and how it works. So
It's coming there.
perfect. Okay, so here we go. Yes. Okay, starting with student activity portfolios and organizations. You can go to the next slide. A student activity portfolio, which is an SAP, is made up of student activity organizations. So there are 6 SAPs. They're leadership, service, student media, governance, student organizations, and programming. And then in those SAPs are student activity organizations, or SAOs. They are the actual organizations that make up the SAPs. I don't know what that is. But, so this is where the money is actually allocated. So the SAOs are listed up there for leadership to merge, for service, impact, BBFD, AUDM, ASB, the big event, student media is Weagle, the Circle, the Glomerata, Eagle Eye TV, governance, SGA, BSU, ISO, student organizations, O-Board, and programming, UPC. So now going into what the process kind of looks like. So each member of the Budget and Finance Committee is assigned an SAP/SAO, and they'll be communicating with the point of contact for that portfolio or organization throughout the budget review process. So this year, this kind of works into my report anyways. For leadership, we have Thomas Treadwell. For service, Francis Wheeler. Student media, Avery Rains. SGA, Jonathan Smith. BSU, Sydney Williams. ISO, Isabel Lovin. Student organizations, Julian Lozano. And programming, Ryan Hall. And so those, they basically stay in contact with the person who takes point on it for these SAPs and SAOs throughout the process of getting their budgets and everything. So starting with initial budgets, before leaving for summer break, each of the members will send out an email to their assigned portfolio or organization. This email will include a small introduction along with important dates to be aware of for the upcoming fiscal year. So a big date is for this year is initial budgets are due June 1st, and so they'll send out that email with that, and then if they need to send a reminder, they'll do that as well. But from that, their point of contact will send their initial budget, and after they've sent their initial budget, we will, as a committee, review it and send it back with any feedback that we have on it. Then we go into final budgets, and so each member will send the budgets back to their initial budgets back with feedback, and they'll also send the due date for final budgets as well with that. And so final budgets this year are due July 24th, I believe. And so again, like if they need to send reminders, they'll do that as well. But the portfolios and organizations will revise their initial budgets that they sent and then send them back before July 24th. So that's when we work into preliminary hearings, and so we'll set dates on these later because it kind of depends on everybody's schedule in the fall. But once the final budgets are submitted, we as a committee kind of prepare for these hearings, and so the way it goes, these hearings are kind of, it's not like meeting or interview type thing about their budgets or anything. It's more of like a way for the points of contact to come in, give a presentation on their budgets, and why they need the money they're asking for, and to kind of clear up any questions that we have. And so after that, we as a committee will make any preparations needed for final budget hearings. And so, yeah, let me go to the next one. And so final hearings that's the last step of the process before we start writing legislation. So the portfolios and organizations will once again represent their budgets. And after that, we'll make any cuts if we need to. Usually that's not an issue. So once those go through, that's when we start writing legislation and presenting them as future and current orders. So yeah, we can go to the next one. And so then we write legislation. So we write a bill. Each member writes a bill for their organization or portfolio that asks for the allocation of the amount requested. And so this goes through our committee, then it's in the exec before being presented as a future order, and then a current order, and then it's voted on, obviously. And so these budgets must be passed before the new fiscal year, which is October 1st. And so that's when reserve fund requests and program expansion fund requests come in. So these are for allocation requests that are after October 1st. So after the fiscal year, the new fiscal year started and everything. So reserve fund request is a one-time allocation. That means the event will not be continuous. It will be a one-time thing in that year. And a program expansion fund request is a continuous allocation. That means that the event is supposed to be year after year, and so that amount will be put in the next year's budget. But since they didn't submit it before October 1st, they have to submit this request so we can give them the money for the event that year as well. So I believe that is it. So any questions on it? Good? That's really good. Thanks.
Good job, Nick. Now moving into our committee report from the Code of Laws Committee.
Business. So not much for me. We're still looking into confirmation and management requirements, election law, finance law, and the student ticket and appeals process. Pretty soon in the coming weeks, I'll be reaching out alongside my committee to set up a meeting with Pepper Miller, who's my counterpart, on election reform and the Miss Homecoming timeline. Also, if you guys have any questions about anything that we're working on, feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashton. And now our report from our DEI committee.
Okay, Rickles, CLA. So earlier I met with the Office of Inclusion and Diversity, the Associate Provost, but in light of events from today, I wanted to share something that I wrote earlier just to kind of process what was going on and what I think a lot of girls across this campus were feeling. I grew up in an environment where it was unsafe for me to be a young girl. I couldn't cry, couldn't wear makeup, and could under no circumstances stand up for myself. I remember sitting in my room thinking, I'm going to get myself out. I'm going to get a full ride to college and be safe from all the things that have hurt me. And I will never let another little girl in any crevice of the world feel the way I felt. I am standing in front of all of you because I would simply not be the woman that my younger self would have wanted me to be if I kept quiet. When I stood out on that concourse today, all the images came flushing back to me. It brought up all the emotions that I felt as a little girl. I walked my 20-minute commute home sobbing. I thought to myself, I go to a school that has the definition of misogyny on a big banner for all to see. I saw the word rape in big, bold letters right in front of the place where I get out of class every day. I saw dismantled children plastered in front of a preschool, and it broke my heart. I don't care what your stance is on abortion. I don't care whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Catholic or atheist.
What we saw today hurt. And we saw it with no warning from anyone, just a large sign warning of genocide ahead. It hurt because it was not just about your stance on abortion, but it was about me. It was about every girl in this room. It was about your mother, it was about your sister, and it was about the women that you love most. I think our world has begun to understand the monstrosities of racism, of bigotry, and of homophobia. Because people stand up for that. Our world turns a blind eye to women. We hurt, we birth, we work, we nurture, we fight, and most of all, we love. I simply could not be in this position and not say how I felt. I would be no better than a hypocrite. If any of you want to say how you feel, I encourage you to go to Auburn Answers and the newly found student climate survey that should have been sent to your inbox. Please come talk to me regardless of what your status is. I want to hear your feedback. And if you are hurting as bad as I am today, please come talk to me. I want to talk to you as well.
Thank you, Senator Rickles. And now moving into our report from the Student Affairs Committee.
Justin, engineering. Tonight I was supposed to present on student affairs, future initiatives and goals, and what we were going to tackle this year. But I would be wrongfully representing the student voice if I did not talk about what happened today. I fully support what Senator Rickles said, and I encourage her sentiment. You know, what today was, is that how the university is going to represent itself to prospective students, to future alumni, Is that the step we're taking in the future? You know, I encourage you, as senators, you have a role at this university to represent student feedback. Use that role. Beyond tonight, look ahead. How are you going to support those students that feel like their own university doesn't support them in their development and instead stokes their fears and nightmares against them and uses it to attack them? Thank you.
Thank you. And now moving into our report from our Executive Committee.
Jones at large.
So tonight we had our first Senate dinner, which went really, really well. Thank you to everyone that came. I hope you'll really buy into the opportunities to get to know one another in this room. And like both Senator Justin and Senator Rickles said, just to use your voice this year, it helps a ton. If you're able to be surrounded by the people that are doing the exact same job as you, and to really be able to pick their mind on what they're walking through. So please buy into those opportunities. Office hours are due tonight. I mentioned it to the people at dinner, but I want to also tell y'all we're moving the involvement hour starting this week from the book to Google Form, just like the college hour. So really excited about that. I know it makes it a ton easier on y'all. So also too, there will be an attendance form that will be coming through every week in the recap email I send on Tuesday mornings. So if you're going to miss Senate, it's either next week or your committee this week, just submit that attendance form. It has an option for you to upload a PDF, like a doctor's excuse or whatever. So please use that. It makes it a lot easier for us voting on excuses in Senate Exec. Also too, we'll have 5 current orders this week. The BSU liaison will be coming through and we'll be tabling it until a new liaison is elected. So just wanted to put that out there for y'all to know why it's being tabled. But outside of that, thank y'all so much.
Thank you, John David. And furthermore, all of those forms can be found in the General Resources and Information All Senate box order that all of you have access to. Moving on, we have our reports from our liaisons, beginning with the Honors Congress.
Wood, Honors Congress. Hey everyone, I'm giving my report for my confirmation tonight. So I just got a few slides here that me and the Vice President of the Honors Congress worked on. So this is going to get started on that.
Sorry, it's a PDF, so I can't present it as PowerPoint.
Oh, you can't present it?
Just click the next one.
It's a PDF.
Yeah, then just click the next one. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So this is our mission. I'm gonna try not to read all this word for word because it's a lot of words. But yeah, our mission is sort of to represent all honor students at Auburn. So like, I'm actually not just representing like just the Honors Congress, but just the Honors College as a whole. So like that's Honors Congress, Diversity and Honors, Honors Serves, and then just any honor student at Auburn. And then our mission statement is to facilitate social, philanthropic, and intellectual enrichment of members of the Honors College in an endeavor to cultivate a community of scholars who seek to serve Auburn University and the Auburn Honors College. That's a lot of words, but basically that just means here to represent the interests of honor students, sort of trying to make the university better. So yeah, this is sort of going into that. That's sort of some stats of the number of students we have. And then like I said, I represent not just the Honors Congress, but just all honors students in whole, which the Honors Congress is open to all honors students. So like, it's sort of like a student government like this, except you don't have to be elected, it's just anybody who's in honors. This is our structure for the Honors Congress. Sort of at the top there, we have the exec team, and that's the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, senate liaison. It's sort of pictured weirdly, but I report directly to the vice president and sort of fill her in on how these meetings go and anything that's pertaining to the Honors Congress or Honors College that happens at these meetings. And that flow chart kind of makes it look like all those chairs are reporting to me, but that's not true. That's just sort of like the next layer, and we actually started interviewing for chairs today, and we're going to be doing that the whole this week, so we'll be picking all those soon. And then, you know, underneath the chairs there's some people who report to the chairs, so that's just sort of how we're structured. The need for liaison, again, it's a lot of words, but sort of the main gist of it is it's so that honors students and honors college can just sort of have a link to the SGA and just have our interest expressed, and also, like I said, hear anything pertaining to the honors college that happens at the SGA meetings, and just sort of facilitate a relationship between honors and the SGA, which is pretty important. Barriers, we've had some issues with past liaisons, and so that's why I report directly to the vice president. I fill her in on everything I'm doing, and so that's just sort of accountability for me, and just making she goes through all the reports that I make for this, and then again just have to report directly every single meeting. So yeah. Some milestones and aspirations. The first one says identify effective recruitment. So we actually have a new committee that we're starting this year, the recruitment committee, I think it's called. I don't know if that's the official name, but yeah, just sort of to like recruit people for the honors college and just sort of know what kind of opportunities are there for them for that. Create a viable culture in which service for community and philanthropy efforts are encouraged. So yeah, we do community service projects, like I've been saying for the last couple of meetings. Our sort of Lee County Humane Society fundraising that we did was sort of one of those. Emphasize student involvement. Again, we have Honors Congress, which is just like our student body for the Honors College, Diversity and Honors, and Honors Serve. That's all the ways honor students get involved. We also promote just general non-honors related stuff. So we try to keep students aware of like all the stuff they can be getting involved in on campus. And then 4, to encourage greater creative autonomy and engagement for committee chairs and members by creating leadership rules for underclassmen. So yeah, we try to include underclassmen as much as we can. I'm an underclass myself. I'm a freshman, so I'm really excited to be here. And I'm just an example of somebody who's fresh in Auburn getting involved as much as I can. And again, I mentioned this before, but we collaborate with the Honors Serves, Diversity and Honors, and then obviously the SGA through me. And sort of, again, my role is to just facilitate that relationship between SGA and honors. And we like to gather feedback too. We have online forums people can submit criticisms or questions or anything for honors. We have a special topics committee that we're starting. So basically, we're getting feedback from our honors body of like what kind of committees they want in the Honors Congress that would be important to them. Implementing an open forum format, kind of like how y'all do here at the beginning of your meetings, just anybody wants to come speak, they can. And then yeah, just an open line of communications for students, just so the
all of the Honors Congress exec tries to remain super approachable and open for any honors issues. And this is just some of the things that we have done or are doing, and that's just some stuff you can read there, sort of that we're not just sitting around twiddling our thumbs. Next one. This last one. All right. Well, thank y'all for listening. Hope y'all have a good rest of your night.
Thank you, Sutherland. And now moving into our report from the Black Student Union.
Advocacy BSU. Firstly, today we had our presidential candidates present their platforms as well as vote for them and our VPs today, and we went through that voting process today. Numbers and final, I guess, results will be out sometime within this week or next week, and I should report back to you guys with that. And once we get that exec part, I guess, filled in, then we'll open up cabinet positions as well as start, I guess, looking for that new Senate liaison. Excuse me. I'm more than likely probably just gonna have a few people just sprinkled in, sitting in the back, kind of seeing how the role is and what's required. But as well as that, I mean, we've already spoke about what happened on the concourse today. I've had several students within BSU pull me aside and speak about it, and no need to go in depth about it because we all know like Auburn stands for more than that. So please heavily just think about that in your positions within SGA, and know that other students besides us see it as well, and they're affected by it as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Donovan. Now moving into our report from the Auburn Student Veterans Association. Jamie.
For student veterans. Hello, everybody. So today I'm really just going to be briefing y'all on the Auburn Student Veterans Association, who we are, what we do, and what my role will be as the SGA liaison. Our mission statement is to provide student veterans, dependents, and military affiliated students with resources to provide and to support the mind, body, and spirit through higher education and then to our employment. We help student veterans connect with each other on campus, but also we help student veterans connect with the local community. We carry out this mission throughout the year by providing resources such as the Veterans Resource Center. This is a big thing that we have that's extremely helpful for veterans. It's just a safe place for us to go and hang out. We get to meet other student veterans. There's free printing. There is the professional clothing locker and the textbook library. We also have programs like the annual Veterans Gala and Rucksacks to Backpacks. This raises funds for school supplies and technology requirements for us to just continue in the classroom. And then in a more personal example that we did, recently we lost one of our own student veterans, and as an organization we really came together and provided emotional and financial support to his family. When he passed away, we were able to cover all of his funeral services, all of the financial needs for that, and we really just came together as an organization to help his family. So we do have the big things, but we also are just really there for each other. We currently have 105 active members, but we are open to anybody who wants to be a part of the ASVA. It's not just for veterans, which I feel might be a common misconception. We are open to anybody. If you support the military, you can join the ASVA, so anybody's welcome. Our organization is pretty standard. 5 executive officers, president, which, quick shout out, Leah, who was the SGA liaison, is now the president. Vice president, secretary, treasurer, philanthropy director. We have others as well that I won't go into.
to, but then obviously we have the SGA liaison. And really, we see the need for a liaison just to have that connection between the SGA and the student veterans. Maintaining that good relationship is pretty vital for our growth, and then this just helps us overall to have a relationship with the student body. Some everyday issues and barriers that we face, we do have quite a few. Most of us in the ASBA are veterans, which means we're non-traditional students, and this could mean a multitude of things, but really some of us have never been to college before, some of us haven't been to college in quite a few years, some of us have disabilities, some of us have anything that can hinder our learning experience here from our service. And so really transitioning out of the military and into civilian life and even into college life is extremely difficult for us. And I'll just use myself as an example too. I joined the military right out of high school. I served for 5 years. I got out. I had a plan to come to Auburn. Like, I was ready to come here. Perfect plan laid out, and when I got here, it was just like ton of bricks hit me. Like, nothing could have prepared me for that transition from military to here. So a liaison is extremely important to voice those challenges that we face, and I am really happy to be able to do that. Some milestones that we want to achieve. So right now our main one is we're in the works of having Veterans Day approved as a holiday at Auburn. And this is really to just commemorate what veterans have done for us, for the country, and really just appreciate everything that we've done. And we would like to continue to work with University of Alabama, and this is a really important event that we do called Operation Iron Ruck. And for those who don't know about it, it's a 150-mile ruck that is from either Auburn to Tuscaloosa or Tuscaloosa to Auburn a week before the Iron Bowl. And our main goal in that is just to raise awareness for veteran suicide. So I personally haven't rucked yet, but plan to. I know it's an amazing experience, and we are all just rucking for that one common goal, which is to raise awareness for veteran suicide. We do collaborate with quite a few organizations, but I'll just name a few. With help from Auburn Athletics, we benefited Toys for Tots, and this year we were actually able to help over 600 families in Lee County, and we raised a total of 12,000 toys, which was the most that we've ever done. Student veterans also coordinate all of the military flyovers at the football games, and we also coordinate all of the forward game day heroes for the football and basketball games, which I'm sure y'all have seen some of those. Some notable achievements that we have, and I'll just name a few that stand out to me personally. AWOL, this program, it's Auburn Warrior Orientation and Learning. I cannot say enough good things about this program. Basically what it is student veterans can come into school a week early prior to the semester starting, and we're able to print off our schedules and walk around to all the classes, to our classes, go in the classroom, see where we're going to go, and we get to go through AU Access, look at all of our finances, and that was extremely helpful for me because I had no clue what I was doing when I got here. I did not know how to be a college student, so that really helped my transition. As I've stated before, that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. So that program was amazing. Iron Ruck, like I've said, 3 years running, we're obviously going to keep that going. And we've made appearances on local and national television for that event. In 2021, we were nominated for Veteran Organization of the Year by the Student Veterans of America. also, this past higher giving day, we earned $112,000, and this money will be used to give scholarships to student veterans in the fall, regardless of what degree is being attained. And I gather feedback from the ASVA twice a month. We have officer meetings, and then we also have organizational meetings. So at each meeting, I just take notes on what I think is important that I will share with you guys. And lastly, the ASVA is very unique, mostly because of the challenges that we do go through, but also we do, at the end of the day, we're just there for each other. We've been through the same struggles, but also the same joys. And so that really just sets us apart. And so if I could be the liaison to shine light on all of those things, then I would be honored to do so. So that is it. Thank you for listening. Does anybody have any questions?
Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Molly. That was great. And now moving into our report from our ROTC liaison.
Lawing ROTC. So first off, I'm going to be hopefully sending a graphic to Coleman that she can send to y'all about the event. So we are having our first like college students ROTC collab. Trying to come up with a name for that. One of my buddies is on that because I'm not very smart like that, but he is, so that's his job. But we're trying to do a little collab. It'll be this Saturday, 9 o'clock at Auburn Facilities and Management, which is pretty much right by RO. We're going to be doing something called the O course, which if you look up on YouTube is a ton of fun. You get to climb some ropes, do some a wall, climb over a wall, go over, under on some different stuff. So it'll be a lot of fun. I highly recommend that y'all show up to that. It's going to be a blast. Yeah, we'd love to see a lot of y'all there and just like getting people out there. It'll be a ton of fun. Secondly, we have a CO's inspection, which is pretty much going to be wearing our white uniforms. So if I look good on Wednesday, give me a compliment because I'll be feeling it. But we'll be doing a CO inspection on Wednesday, wearing our whites. And then President's Day ceremony will be April 13th coming up. Pretty much we'll be in front of, I believe it's still Gouge. I'm actually not sure about that. But in front of him, just being able to, we do it every year, where he just looks over the RSC and sort of just gives his thumb of approval. Doesn't really say much. Just stands there and looks good. But yeah, so we'll have those upcoming. Hopefully, biggest thing is though this Saturday, I'll hopefully send that graphic to you and you can send it out. I'm really looking forward to that. Really, really good time just competing with us, seeing how y'all do, and just having a blast. So yeah, thank y'all.
Thank you, and now that concludes our reports from our liaisons. We will now be moving into our current orders of business, beginning with PSSB 032801 by Senator Call.
All at large. Ask for approval of the following. The amount of $17,100 to be allocated to the University Program Council from the Program Expansion Fund. These funds will go to help the organization expand a brand new line item and event, the Magnolia Ball. Taking place on Saturday, March 19th, 2022, this event is serving as Auburn's first all-university formal. These finances will help supplement the food costs needed for catering by the hotel at Auburn University. This amount will be allocated among the following categories as shown. AU Hotel, food and beverage, $17,100.
Thank you, Ryan. Would everyone please get out their devices to vote at this time?
I move to pass this bill as written.
Is there a second?
Second.
While all of you get into the voting room, is there any debate on this legislation? Also, please ensure that your full name is written out as your Zoom username so Ben can accurately take a roll call. Is everyone in at this time? I just emailed you the right one.
You just said.
I just sent
I
you
was
the right
about
one.
to say, I didn't even.
I sent you the right one. We have not asked for a vote on this. I don't know why you're commenting. Is there any further debate on this legislation? Seeing none, we'll move into the vote. All in favor, please comment yes into the Zoom chat and say aye. All opposed, please say nay and comment no into the Zoom chat.
Aye.
It looks like the ayes have it and this bill is passed. Next, we will be moving into PSSB 22032802.
Jones at large, ask for approval of the following Donovan Evans Black Student Union Liaison. I move to pass this bill as written.
Is there a second? Is there any debate?
I move that we table this bill.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any debate on tabling this bill? All right, seeing none, we'll move into a vote to table this piece of legislation. All in favor, please say aye and comment yes into the Zoom chat. All opposed, please say nay and comment nay into the Zoom chat. All right, it looks like the ayes have it and this bill has been tabled. Next, we have PSSB 22032803 by Senator Martinez.
Ask for the approval of the following: Sutherland Wood, Orange County Liaison. I move to pass this bill as written.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any debate? Seeing none, we will move into the vote. All in favor, please say aye and comment yes into the Zoom chat. All opposed, please say nay and comment no into the Zoom chat. All right, Ben's telling me that the ayes have it and this bill is adopted. Congratulations, Sutherland. Next, we have PSSB 22032804 by Senator Giorgiola.
Madam Dear Body School, I ask for the approval of the following. Alex line, it's a hope it's actually customized. I move to pass this bill as written.
Is there a second? Is there any debate? Seeing none, we will move into a vote. All in favor, please say aye and comment yes into the Zoom chat. All opposed, please say nay and comment no into the Zoom chat.
Aye.
All right, Ben's telling me that the ayes have it and this bill is adopted. Congratulations, Alex. Next, moving into PSSB 22032805 by Senator Jones.
Jones at large, ask for approval of the following Molly Orr Student Veterans Association Liaison. I move that we pass this bill as written.
Is there a second? Is there any debate? Seeing none, we will move into a vote. All in favor, please say aye and comment yes into the Zoom chat. All opposed, please say nay and comment no into the Zoom chat. Looks like the ayes have it and this bill is adopted. Congratulations, Molly. And that is the conclusion of our current orders of business. We will now be moving into our future orders of business, beginning with PSSB 22040401 by Senator Jones.
Jones at large asks for approval of the following: Sierra Berry, AVP of Academic Affairs; Katie Romsbacher, AVP of Athletics; Dylan Peterson, AVP of Campus Life; Miller King, AVP of University Operations; Mary Kate Stanford, AVP of Finance; Kinsley Brewis, AVP of Auburn Rings; Brandon Belser, AVP of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion; Anna Coker, AVP of External Affairs; Katie Atwater, AVP of Feedback and Assessment; Charlie Flory, AVP of Outreach Programs; Jillian Daughtry, AVP of Media Operations; Corey Atkins, AVP of Communication and Marketing; Brandon Gorham, AVP of Cabinet Administration; Jonah Barnett, AVP of Opportunities; Pepper Miller, Executive Director of Elections; Isabella D., Executive Director of Schools Council.
Are there any questions on this future order? Yes. Are there any other questions on this future order? Seeing none, we'll move on. Next, we have PSSB 040402 by Senator Jones.
Jones at large asks for approval of the following: Lauren Lewis, College of Human Sciences, Schools Council Vice President.
Are there any questions on this future order? Seeing none, we'll move on. Next, we have PSSB 040403 by Senator Jones.
Jones at large asks for approval of the following: Sydney Prince, College of Veterinary Medicine, Schools Council President; Michelle Meza, College of Veterinary Medicine, Schools Council Vice President.
Are there any questions on this future order? Seeing none, we will move on. In our last future order of tonight, we have PSSB 040404 by Senator Jones.
Jones at large asks for approval of the following: Maddie Lunday, Miss Auburn's Chief Staff.
Are there any questions on this future order? All right, seeing none, that concludes our future orders for tonight. I only have a couple of announcements for all of you before we conclude. Just a reminder to encourage your constituents to utilize Auburn Answers to submit feedback on any issue or concern they may have. No matter what's going on campus, they have the opportunity to submit an anonymous Auburn answer or to use their voice to engage feedback from SGA. Furthermore, all of you during your college office hours should be submitting an anonymous Auburn answer so they can ensure our outreach team is able to have all of the feedback necessary. Keep up the great work with your office hours. As a reminder, as you continue to work with your projects that you're starting on, to utilize benchmarking requests on AU Involved so our outreach team are able to help you with anything that you may possibly need. And finally, we'll be having our first schools council meeting tomorrow. I will update all of you on how that goes, but remember to get in touch with your schools council presidents and vice presidents and build that relationship so that we are capable of being able to reach your constituents better within your college. That is all from me at this time, but keep up the great work and remember to be safe, be smart, and be kind to everyone. You are dismissed.
Be safe, be smart, be kind. I know, I got that. Big What? Should I like? Huge. I'm obviously gonna go back and watch the recording, but what do you want me to say for?
Man, did you get the voting results? Did you get the voting report?
Yeah.
Oh, that was anonymous.
During the conference.
We have the budget. She got it. It's got a good budget, so.
During concourse. just with everybody like I didn't know what
I'm gonna miss you so much.
No, I think that's fine. And like if anyone wants to hear it, they can. That's what the recording's for.
I know you'll still be here to sit back. You can only give about 40 minutes.
You're welcome. You got leather shoes.
They're Steve Madden.
They're on sale too.
I'll see that here.
What? Yeah, I'm Steve Madden online.
About what? You're gonna be here tonight. You're gonna be here tonight.
Okay, I will see you later.
Bye.
Of course. I'll be in the student center tomorrow, 9:30, after my class.
I don't come tomorrow. I might come home. I'm definitely coming on Wednesday. I don't know if I can make it tomorrow.
I'll be there Wednesday.
Okay. Oh, we need to print all the bills.
Hi, clickers.
Hi, clickers! I got an email from Kevin. I got an email from Kevin. I was so excited. But I emailed him back, and so I said, "Hi, Kevin. This is so exciting." And then he'll email me back his availabilities.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll meet with him.
So okay. If you want me to come
I'll
as well.
I'll let you know.
Okay. I guess I should be excited as well.
Yeah.
What is different? It should everyone will have a clicker.
Everyone have a clicker.
Why like let's meet like a computer. Oh, just like right next to it.
Like a device. I don't know. We'll see.
That's exciting.
It should be exciting.
All right. I'll see you next week, Ollie.
Thank you, Ben.
Do you have anything like, have you decided what you're doing about election